You think love is supposed to rescue you. It's not. It's supposed to reveal you. And if what it reveals is fragile, needy, and reactive, that's not deep love, that's you refusing to grow. You want a relationship that feels steady, passionate, respectful. You want attraction that doesn't evaporate the moment you stop performing. Good. Then hear this. Your life won't change because someone finally treats you right. Your life changes when you treat reality right. Amor Fati, love your fate, means you stop bargaining with what is. You meet life where it stands, not where you wish it would kneel. And you answer with virtue, character over chaos, choice over compulsion. That's the whole game. You don't need 5 more books to grasp it. You need courage to live it. Here's the first harsh truth: you don't have a communication problem. You have a regulation problem. You argue because you want your partner to calm your nervous system for you. Their tone spikes your threat response. Their pause feels like rejection. Their text delay lights up the ache from 10 years ago. Then you offload the ache onto them accusations, sarcasm, exiling silence. You call it setting a boundary, but it's really mood management by intimidation. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about owning it so you don't weaponize it. Second harsh truth: neediness is not about how much love you want. It's about whether you believe you can survive without immediate reassurance. People can sense it. It bends your behavior. You check in, but it reads like surveillance. You open up, but it grips with covert pressure. Validate me now or I'll implode. Attraction shrinks in that air. Respect dies first. Then desire follows the body to the exit. Want love. Build a spine, not a leash. Third, harsh truth. You confuse intensity with intimacy. Chaos feels like proof that it matters. Your cortisol becomes the couple's soundtrack. You think the grand apology means you're working on it. No, that's the theater. The work is unsexy. It's the speed bump between trigger and response. It's noticing the heat rise in your face and choosing to breathe instead of blast. It's letting your partner have their mood without drafting them into your storm. That is virtue applied to the smallest, ugliest moments. The rolled eyes, the cold shoulder, the weaponized sigh. Amor Fati in relationships means this: love the fact that your partner is a separate planet. Love the times they don't mirror you. Love the awkward gap where your expectations shatter. Not because you're a doormat, because reality is telling you exactly where to mature. Your partner's boundary is not a verdict on your worth. Their need for space isn't your abandonment replay unless you decide to run that script again. You can choose a different scene. Let's dissect attraction dynamics without the fluff. Attraction isn't a prize you chase. It's a signal your behavior generates. Signals aren't mysterious. They're thermodynamics of character. Steadiness radiates safety. Self-respect radiates selectivity. Generosity without self-betrayal radiates abundance. Accountability radiates leadership. Manipulation radiates fear. Over-explaining radiates insecurity. If you constantly clarify what you meant, you're performing PR for a self you don't trust. People don't bond with press releases. They bond with presence. Your reactions teach your partner how to treat you. Snap when you're hurt. You're telling them truth is dangerous, so they'll hide it. People please when you're scared. You're telling them you don't trust your own. No, so they'll test it. Withdraw when you need closeness. You're training them to chase, then you'll resent the chase. You are shaping the dance, step by step, with every choice under pressure. Amor Fati says, stop wishing for a different partner to practice on. Use this moment. Even if this relationship ends, you'll carry your patterns into the next one. Break the pattern here and your future thanks you. Respond with virtue. That's not abstract. That's a decision tree you can run in under 5 seconds. 1. What is under my control right now? Not their tone, not their timeline, not their trauma. Control your posture, your breath, your words, your boundaries, your decision to stay or to go. 2. What value do I want to express? Respect. Then you don't interrupt. Courage. Then you say the thing clearly and calmly. Care. Then you listen past your defensiveness. Self-respect. Then you stop arguing for crumbs. 3. What action small? Immediate embodies that value. 1 sentence, 1 breath. 1 non-reaction. 1 graceful exit when the conversation hits a wall. 1 callback when you promise to repair. This is how attraction becomes predictable. Not guaranteed. Nothing in life is but predictable because virtue is consistent. The most magnetic person in the room is not the loudest. It's the one whose nervous system isn't for sale. They feel heavy in a good way, grounded. They can hold tension without turning it into drama. They can take a no without turning it into a referendum. They can give a no without theatrics. That's not aloofness, that's earned calm. And it reads as strength. You want emotionally charged behavior analysis. Fine. Notice your loops. Jealousy loop, intrusive thought, compulsive checking, momentary relief, stronger compulsion, next time. The fix isn't convince me more. The fix is a response prevention. You sit with the first spike and refuse the check. You let the wave crest and fall. That's Amor Fati, loving the wave because it trains your balance. Training builds dignity. Dignity builds desire. Another loop, protest behavior. You want connection, but you punish distance. You slam doors, drop icy texts, play accountant with affection. You think you're teaching a lesson. You're teaching fear. Fear buys compliance, not devotion. Respond with virtue. Ask for what you want once, cleanly. If it's a no, respect it. If it's always a no, respect yourself enough to leave. Let's go deeper. Premeditatio malorum, a Stoic tool. Translation for relationships. Mentally rehearse the annoying, the triggering, the boring. Imagine your partner being late. Imagine the ex's photo showing up in a feed. Imagine a dry spell. Now, pre-decide your response that aligns with virtue. Prediction reduces reactivity. You arrive prepared instead of primitive. But what about love? Isn't this cold? No. This is the furnace love requires. The warmth you want is not possible without boundaries that can contain heat. Uncontained fire burns houses down. Contained fire cooks meals. You don't need less feeling. You need more form. Romantic chaos masquerades as passion because form is work. Form means you don't dump every impulse into the room. You steward it. You let the feeling inform you without allowing it to command you. That's adult. Adults make attraction safe to deepen. Here's a small mindset shift with big force. Stop trying to win your partner. Start trying to win your own respect. Ask, after every conflict, if someone I admire watched that, would they respect how I showed up? Not did I win the point. Did I win my respect? If the answer is no, make a plan to repair and to do one thing differently next time. One tiny thing. That's how you become someone you trust. When you trust you, you don't need proof from them. Practice the response gap drill for the next 72 hours. Anytime you feel heat, defensiveness, jealousy, panic, catch the first micro sensation. Name it. I am noticing a surge. Breathe in for 4, hold for 2, out for 6. Then choose one value word and one behavior. Value respect. Behavior. I will finish listening before I speak. Value courage. Behavior. I will say the boundary plainly. I don't do shouting. Let's pause. Value self-respect. Behavior. I will leave the room for 10 minutes. Not to punish, but to reset. Write it down. Do it. That's the rep. That's how attraction recalibrates toward you. Now the slap of truth, no one is coming to parent your nervous system. If you keep making your lover your regulator, You'll strangle the intimacy you claim to want. Turn toward reality. Love the friction because it's your training ground. Respond with virtue because it's your signature. Then watch what happens to your presence, your peace, your pull. You're not waiting for magic. You're becoming the person who creates it. You don't need a perfect partner. You need a regulated self. Until then, love will keep tripping over the mess you won't clean up. Let's slice deeper into Amor Fati, love your faith, and put it to work in your actual relationship. Not some Instagram fantasy. You want stability, desire, respect. You want someone who feels like home but doesn't make you bored. Good. Then start with this. The way you meet difficulty is the way you teach love to treat you. Not your words, your stance, your micro choices when your nervous system flares. This is where attraction is born or buried. Reality check: your partner has a past you don't control. So do you. Your history is the invisible third person in every conversation. It's sitting at the table, breathing down your neck, whispering, "Don't get hurt again." Amor Fati doesn't mean you love the trauma. It means you love the truth that these are the cards in your hand today, and you play them with skill. Victims play to feel safe. Adults play to become strong. The difference shows up in how you handle friction. Start with the argument you keep having. You know the one. It starts with something petty: a dish, a tone, a late text, and collapses into the same canyon. You don't feel chosen. They don't feel safe. Both of you feel misunderstood. If you want out, memorize the 3 doors. Door 1, escalation. You win the moment and lose the month. You get the last word, but it buys silence, not trust. Door 2, withdrawal. You protect yourself by disappearing. You save face, but the cost is connection. Intimacy cannot build where presence is optional. Door 3, regulation. You stay in the room as an adult. You won't attack. You won't perform. You'll breathe, label your emotion, state your need or boundary once, and stop negotiating your worth. Pick door 3. Every time. It's boring. It's hard. It's how you grow. Here are 3 brutal realizations to tattoo on your mind. Your partner's feelings are not a problem to be solved. They're information. If you rush to fix or defend, you're making their feelings about your self-image. You're not loving. You're managing. Real attraction rises when you can witness emotion without scrambling to erase it. 2. You don't get credit for intention, only for impact. I didn't mean it is emotional bankruptcy. Own the effect, repair it, then upgrade the behavior. Intention is a diary entry. Impact is the headline. 3. Anxiety will always find a reason. If you insist on absolute certainty before you can relax, you will squeeze your relationship until it suffocates. Courage is choosing connection while uncertainty exists. That's attraction's oxygen. Let's dissect the moment you're triggered. Your heart spikes. Your chest tightens. Words rush to your tongue like soldiers. Catch this and you change the whole story. Your brain is running a prediction, not reporting a fact. It's guessing based on old data. Stoic move. Acknowledge prediction. Verify reality. Say it out loud if you're brave. My body is telling me a story. I'm going to check the facts before I fire. That sentence alone has saved more couples than grand gestures ever will. It buys space. Space buys clarity. Clarity buys respect. Respect buys desire. You think desire is spontaneous. It's not. It's ecosystems and habits. It's how you talk to each other on the ordinary Tuesday. It's whether you keep your word on the tiny promises: "I'll call you when I arrive. I'll be 10 minutes late. I'll clean my side of the sink." Boring. Yes, but this is where the body decides if it can relax around you. Relaxation precedes arousal. If you want heat, build trust. If you want trust, become predictable in your virtues, not just your mood swings. Let's talk polarity without the internet nonsense. Polarity isn't rigid gender caricatures. It's tension between clarity and openness. One partner brings a clear frame. Here's the plan. Here's the boundary. Here's the yes-no. The other meets that frame with presence receptive, engaged, bringing play, depth, curiosity. In healthy couples, you both can do both. What kills polarity is not feminine, masculine imbalance. It's ambivalence. Chronic half yes. Chronic maybe. Chronic. Let me see how I feel, and then I'll decide if I respect my own word. Nothing dissolves attraction faster than someone who won't commit to their own values. The fix isn't posturing. It's choosing a stance. It's deciding who you are under stress and staying that way when your hormones beg otherwise. Read this twice. Being untriggerable is not the goal. Being unbulldozable by your triggers is, you will feel things. Good. Feel them fully. But when your behavior starts outsourcing your integrity to your adrenaline, you pay with intimacy. That's too expensive. Virtue is cheaper than chaos. Always. A precise tool for repairs the 4 R's. Regulate, I'm heated. I need 5 minutes. I will come back. And then you do. Trust is built on the return. Revealed. The story in my head is X. The feeling in my body is Y. The need is Z. Short. Specific. No character assassination. Receive. When they share, reflect back without rebuttal. I hear that when I canceled, you felt unimportant and you needed reassurance and a plan. You don't have to agree with their story to honor their experience. Resolve one concrete behavior. Next time, I'll text 1 hour earlier if plans wobble, and a boundary if needed. If voice gets raised, I will pause the conversation. That's not therapy speak. It's competence. Competence is sexy. Another piece, you avoid standards. You hope love will rearrange someone's value system. It won't. If your partner repeatedly breaks agreements and apologizes with tears and gifts, you don't have a communication problem. You have a compatibility problem and a self-respect problem. Amor Fati here means loving that reality appeared early. Thank it. Then choose, leave or stay with conditions. If you stay, that is your choice, not your sentence. If nothing changes, you change, you leave. Not to punish, but to align. That's virtue congruence under pressure. Let's handle jealousy, because it's rotting your calm. Jealousy is not a request for more surveillance. It's a signal to strengthen 3 muscles: self-trust, boundary clarity, and selective faith. Self-trust, you can survive loss, so you don't have to preemptively control. Boundary clarity, you state what you do and don't do flirting with exes. Secrecy with phones, ambiguous friendships, and you enforce with your feet, not lectures. Selective faith, you choose to believe what their behavior consistently shows, not what your panic imagines. Faith is not naivete. It's a risk you take with eyes open. Risk is required for love. Always. Here's a counterintuitive mindset shift that will save you years. Replace. How do I get them to with who do I need to be so that switch from control to standard. How do I get them to text back faster becomes who do I need to be so that I only give energy to people who match my cadence, or I calmly choose someone who does. This shifts your posture from beggar to chooser. Choosers are attractive. Beggars are exhausting. Let's turn to the body. Your physiology drives more of your relationship than your philosophy. Sleep debt turns kind people into interrogators. Blood sugar dips turn secure people into catastrophizers. Hydration, movement, sun exposure. These are not wellness platitudes. They're emotional stabilizers. You want high agency love. Build a high agency body. You want less reactivity. Stop living like a blinking cursor waiting for someone to type your feelings for you. Take the pen. Write your baseline with habits that stabilize your signal. Your partner cannot do your piece. They cannot manufacture it. Now the sticky part, apologies. You're over-apologizing for existence and under-apologizing for specific harm. Stop. A solid apology has 4 screws precise behavior, felt impact, changed procedure, and a no-drama ask. I cancelled last-minute behavior. I see that made you feel like an afterthought and messed your evening impact. Next time, I'll flag conflicts 24 hours earlier. If it's under 4 hours, I'll own it with a reschedule. I initiate procedure. Would that address the issue for you? Ask. Leave out the autobiography. Focus on repair. Then do it. Consistency is the only apology grown-ups believe. And yes, passion matters. But passion isn't a substitute for partnership. Partnership is the scaffolding that holds the heat. You want more spark. Become easier to love. Not by shrinking, by simplifying. Clear yes. Clear no. Earned calm. Honest desire. Laughter that isn't hiding contempt. Eyes that aren't scanning for threat. A schedule that includes each other on purpose, not as leftovers. Make time. Make touch. Make novelty. Not because you're desperate, because you're devoted. One practice for this week, the 2-way proof. Every day, create one tiny piece of proof that you are trustworthy to yourself, self-respect, and one tiny piece of proof that you are safe to your partner, relational safety. Self-respect proof. Keep a micro promise. 10 push-ups. 1 paragraph. No phone in bed. Relational safety proof. Proactively send the plan. Arrive on time. Own the slip without prompting. 10 days of proof shifts the energy more than 10 hours of analysis. Attraction grows where proof accumulates. Final hit for this section. No one is coming to make your patterns kinder. That's your job. Love reality as it is. Respond with virtue as you are. Become the person whose presence calms rooms and stirs desire. Or keep rehearsing the same chaos and call it fate. Your move. You keep asking, is this the right person? Ask this instead. Am I the right person when it's hard? Because love doesn't fail. Most people fail. Love when discomfort arrives, dressed like disrespect. When boredom arrives, dressed like incompatibility. When accountability arrives, dressed like attack. Here's where Amor Fati goes from concept to cut. You stop arguing with the fact that relationships expose your weakest habits. You start using that exposure as a training protocol. You quit waiting for a painless path. There isn't one. There is only the path where pain becomes information instead of identity. You, right now, can choose it. Let's dismantle 3 illusions that quietly ruin good connections. Harsh realization, number 1. Your standards are not standards if they require someone else to mind read. Be more attentive, communicate better, prioritize me. They're fog. Fog breeds resentment because no one can win. Replace fog with fences observable, measurable, repeatable. On weekdays, we confirm plans by 5 p.m. We don't raise voices. If it happens, we pause 20 minutes. We spend 2 tech-free hours together weekly. Fences don't kill spontaneity. They protect it from chaos. Attraction grows inside clarity. Harsh realization, number 2. You mistake intermittent reinforcement for chemistry. The hot-cold roller coaster floods your brain with dopamine spikes. You call it spark. It's actually behavioral conditioning. You've trained yourself to chase the reward that appears at random. That's not romance. That's a lab experiment. Amor Fati means you love the truth that your nervous system is hackable, and you stop worshipping whatever hacks it. Harsh realization, number 3. You're loyal to the story more than the relationship. The story that you're difficult but worth it. The story that they're healing but trying. The story that real love is complicated. Stories are anesthetics. The relationship is data. Does the data say safety? Does the data say growth? If the answer is no, stop subsidizing a fantasy with your time. Now tactics, If you want a relationship that doesn't sag under the weight of ambiguity, give it a frame, not a rigid cage, a supportive architecture. Use the 5 agreements of earned calm, short, sharp, written down in plain language so you both see the same movie. 1. Time is truth. We anchor plans early. We update fast. 2. Tone is safety. We speak to the human, even when hurt. 3. Space is sacred. Breaks are for regulation, not punishment. 4. Repair is mandatory. We circle back within 24 hours. 5. Phones are tools, not weapons, not escape hatches. You don't need a therapist to implement this, just a pen and self-respect. If your partner won't agree to basic adult scaffolding, believe that you're not unlovable. You're out of alignment. Let's talk boundaries without the Instagram fluff. Boundaries aren't long speeches. They're 3-part switches: value, limit, consequence. I value calm. I don't stay in conversations where voices are raised. If it happens, I will pause and resume later. If it becomes a pattern, I will stop discussing sensitive topics until we get support. Notice the subject not you need to, not you always. Boundaries govern your behavior. They make you predictable to yourself. That predictability is magnetic. People lean toward what they can trust even when they don't like it in the moment. Now let's move to resentment detox. Resentment is a savings account that pays interest in contempt. You think you're avoiding conflict, you're accruing emotional debt. Amor Fati says love that the debt surfaced, because now you can pay it on purpose. Run the 3-step clean-out inventory. Write the specific behaviors you're holding. No adjectives, just nouns and verbs. Cancelled twice this month. Joked about my body. Ignored texts during emergencies. Interpretation. Write the story you told yourself about each behavior. I'm not a priority. They don't respect me. I'm alone when it counts. Inquiry. Ask 2 questions. What else could be true? What boundary or request would align with my values? Then act either request once, clearly, set a boundary, or exit. If you won't do this, own that you prefer familiar bitterness to unfamiliar bravery. That's a choice. It just isn't love. Attraction dynamics demand friction, but principled friction, not chaos. The most compelling couples I've studied have a ritualized way to disagree. Try the SNCE. Protocol for conflicts under high heat. S. State the topic in 1 sentence. No backstory dump. T. Time box the round 10 minutes each. No interrupting. A. Affect check name the core feeling in 1 word before you speak. N needs 1 need, not 10. I need reliability on plans. C. Clarify the listener repeats what they heard. The speaker corrects only facts. E. Execution. 1 concrete change. 1 check-in date. Is this romantic in practice? Yes. Because nothing turns the body on like competence under pressure. Competence whispers, we can handle life. Let's drill into forgiveness, because you botch it. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's deciding how much of your future you'll let the past rent. If a harm is forgivable and the behavior changes, let your nervous system update. Stop fishing the river for old insults to prove a point. If a harm is unforgivable for you or forgivable but unchanged, then end it cleanly. No slow drip cruelty. Mercy is not martyrdom. Mercy is refusing to poison yourself with rehearsed outrage. Here's the mindset shift that tightens your entire game. Stop optimizing for being understood. Optimize for being clear. Being understood depends on their capacity, mood, and willingness. Being clear is yours. Clarity shrinks drama. I want exclusive dating by X date or I will part ways. I'm not available for triangulating with exes. I don't do sarcasm in conflict. Clarity might cost you a relationship. Confusion will cost you yourself. What about attraction after the honeymoon? You don't keep it by chasing novelty. You keep it by refining quality. Quality attention. quality presence, quality integrity. The body tracks congruence. Say you value health but live on fumes. The body registers hypocrisy. Say you value honesty but spin little white lies. The body registers risk. Your partner's desire isn't just reacting to your looks, it's reacting to your alignment. You want to be hotter. Become harder to shake from your values. Let's hit breakups with Amor Fati. If you must go, go in a way you can admire. No ghosting, no smear campaigns, no accidental social media stabs. Clean, direct, owned. This relationship doesn't fit my values. I'm grateful for what we had. I'm ending it now. You'll think you need 100 explanations. You don't. You need one decision and the spine to hold it. Endings are audits. Pass yours with dignity. And if you stay, stay by choice, not inertia. Renew your vows privately every quarter. Ask, are we living our agreements? Where did I fail my values? What proof have I created that I am easier to love and harder to shake? Then adjust. Don't wait for rock bottom. Rock bottom is a byproduct of procrastinated honesty. Training time. 3 drills for the next 7 days. 1. The silent sprint. In your next heated moment, earn 20 seconds of pure listening before you respond. No fixing, no explaining. Just reflect back the gist. You'll hate it. Do it anyway. It teaches your nervous system that silence is not surrender. It's strategy. 2. The one sentence standard. Choose the one sentence that best defines your stance this month. I don't chase clarity, I create it. Or I don't escalate, I exit and return. Put it on your lock screen. Let it parent your impulses. 3. The micro offer. Daily. Offer one act of service that costs you something small time. Attention. Convenience without scoreboard keeping. Service without self-betrayal builds warmth. Warmth invites desire. If you're thinking, but what if they don't reciprocate good? That's reality doing you a favor. Your efforts will expose the truth faster. You'll either rise together or you'll get your answer without wasting another season. Amor Fati kisses your forehead and whispers, thank what reveals, even when it hurts. Here's your last slap for this section. You can be a victim of your patterns or a parent to them. One path ends with you resenting love for not saving you. The other ends with you respecting yourself for saving you. Love reality. Respond with virtue. Then watch as your presence rewires the room or clears it. Either way, you win by being who you said you are. You keep rehearsing disaster in your head and then acting surprised when your body performs it. Stop scripting betrayal and then blaming love for following your cues. Let's get surgical. Amor Fati is not passive acceptance. It's trained responsiveness. It's the exact opposite of helplessness. It says, I will respect the facts. Then I will impose my values. You want attraction that sticks. Build a nervous system that doesn't sell out your values when you get scared. That's the currency. That's the rare signal. And yes, it's learnable. Start where the rot hides micro disrespect, not the big betrayals. The daily sandpaper that erodes trust, the eye roll, the half-listening scroll, the you're too sensitive shrug, the relax. I was joking. That's contempt wearing a casual hoodie. It kills desire faster than time. Amor Fati means love, the fact that these tiny tales reveal the true state of your connection, then respond with precision. Name it calmly. When you joke about me in front of friends, I feel dismissed. I won't participate in that. If it repeats, I'll leave the event. No speeches, no groveling, just adult edges. Edges keep love in bounds. Let's talk self-sabotage masquerading as standards. You say, I just have high expectations. No, you have blurry expectations you weaponize after the fact. High standards are boringly explicit. They're written. They're behavior-based. They're negotiated when calm. not hurled when inflamed. If it isn't clear enough to measure, it's not a standard, it's a trap. And traps produce either actors or rebels, not lovers. Shocking truth. The reason you're attracted to unavailable people is that availability terrifies your unpracticed self. Real availability demands you be seen. Seen people must be consistent or exposed. Your nervous system prefers the drama of pursuit to the responsibility of presence. You confuse adrenaline with aliveness because you don't yet know how to feel alive without chaos. Fix that. Build aliveness on contribution, mastery, and devotion, and not on chasing someone who keeps sprinting away. Another slap of truth, your independence routine is sometimes just intimacy avoidance with better branding. I'm low maintenance. Translation: I'm afraid to need. Needs are not the problem. Immature delivery is. Mature needs sound like this. Quality time matters to me. I'd like 2 undistracted hours weekly. Interested. That's not clingy, that's precise. If they can't meet it, good data. Amor Fati thanks the data, then aligns your actions. Now, power. Not the internet cosplay. Real power. The capacity to do what you said you would do when your hormones vote. No. That power is attractive because it means you're reliable under heat. You can hold a boundary without a tantrum. You can give grace without losing structure. You can change course without rewriting history. People lean into that. The body reads it as safety. So we train power. 3 drills. Do them like your love life depends on it, because it does. 1. Interrupt the spiral. Cue you catch yourself story building. They're pulling away. I knew it. Action. Write 3 columns. Facts. Feelings. Fiction. Put events in facts. Put sensations in feelings. Put predictions in fiction. Then choose one behavior aligned with a value, respect. Behavior. Ask for clarity once. That single page will save you from detonating what isn't even on fire. 2. The boundary reps. Pick one non-negotiable you keep leaking. Speak it to the mirror twice daily. Then to your partner once this week. I don't stay in conversations with shouting. I'll pause and return. Then enforce it the first time with 0 performance. Your nervous system learns it can survive the shake. That's strength in the bank. 3. Desire by proof. Every day. Stack 2 proofs of integrity. 1 to self. 1 to partner. Self, a tiny promise kept. Partner, a tiny courtesy offered. Do it when you don't feel like it. Attraction grows where proof outnumbers promises. Let's address sex without the cringe. You keep looking for novelty hacks while starving the basics: respect, presence, and the courage to ask. Desire is allergic to resentment. You can't resent someone all day and crave them at night. Clean resentment, and libido often returns without a single tip. And when you speak desire, stop outsourcing it. What do you want? I don't know. What do you want? Childish. Try. I want slow kisses, lights low, and no phones. Can we try that Friday? Directness is erotic because it signals self-knowledge and permission. If you want more polarity, try this rotation one night. You hold the frame you plan. You lead. You decide. Next time you surrender the frame you receive. You follow. You feel. Not roles forever. Rotations for freshness. Clarity and openness. Taking turns. Adult play. Deep nervous system exhale. Your family script is running your love life more than you admit. Parentified kids overfunction. Neglected kids test love by pushing it away. Enmeshed kids fear separateness and fuse. Amor Fati means you love that these patterns revealed themselves in relationship because now you can reparent. Reparenting isn't a vibe. It's logistics. It sounds like I will not volunteer for emotional labor I didn't agree to. I will not punish someone for needing space. I will not use my anxiety to control the agenda. Create rituals your younger self never had: consistent check-ins, consistent repair, consistent celebration, boring, healing, hot. Precision tools for the next rupture. When they misstep and own it, don't turn the confession into a courtroom. Reward honesty with brevity. Thank you for saying that. I need a beat. Here's what helps next time. The point of accountability isn't humiliation, it's calibration. When you misstep, stop distributing the blame to invisible villains. I was tired. Work was crazy. That's weather, not responsibility. I was sharp. It landed as contempt. I'm sorry. I'll restart. That's adult. When neither of you can see straight, call the fog. We're flooded. Pausing for 30. Meet on the porch. Agree on a symbol, a hand to heart. A phrase like yellow light. Use it. Drama goes down. Safety goes up. Desire likes safety. Let's cut into scarcity behavior. Scarcity says, this is my last chance at love. So you tolerate uncertainty for company. You accept crumbs and call it patience. Scarcity makes you perform, not choose. Performers don't get picked. They get used. Choose instead. Choose your values loudly enough that misaligned people self-eject. The right ones don't get scared by your edges. They get guided by them. Mindset shift with teeth replace. What if I lose them with what if I lose myself? Losing them hurts. Losing yourself haunts. Every yes that violates your values erases you inch by inch. You want to be unforgettable. Be consistent. Consistency is the rarest beauty. Decision audits. Quarterly. Write these on a single page. What behavior did I tolerate that violated my stated standards? What did I do this quarter that made me easier to love, not easier to exploit? Where did I chase reassurance instead of building self-respect? Which conversations did I avoid that would have simplified everything? Then fix one item per line. 1. Not 10. 10 is theater. 1 is change. Shocking truth. You won't like. You keep confusing attraction with addiction. Addiction asks, how can I get more? Attraction asks, how can I give better without losing myself? Addiction narrows your world. Attraction expands it. If your relationship is shrinking your friendships, your health, your purpose, you're not in love, you're in captivity. Love should make you larger. Fix your apology economy and your praise economy. Right now, you apologize too much for your needs and too little for your harms. Flip it, and you praise only when you're happy. Amateur. Praise when you're proud of their character under pressure. The way you owned your mistake and repaired quickly. Respect. That's fuel. People repeat what gets honored. Notice the effort, not just the outcome. Adults light up differently when their effort is seen. Here's a brutal kindness. Sometimes the most virtuous response is leaving. Not to punish. To align with truth. If you keep negotiating with someone who treats the agreements as suggestions, you're conspiring against your future self. Exit with dignity. No scorched earth. No secret harem auditions while you figure it out. Clean breaks. Honor what was and protect what will be. And if you stay, then stay like you mean it. Make a plan. You can measure weekly. State of us, monthly novelty, quarterly getaway, daily micro touch. Laugh often. Touch often. Tell the truth often. Keep your body strong. Keep your word stronger. It's not glamorous. It's sustainable. Sustainable becomes magical when it compiles. Last challenge for this section, the fate reversal. For the next 7 days, whenever reality disappoints you, say, good, training, missed call, good, training in patience and clarity, mixed signal, good, training in standards, tough feedback, good, training in repair. You're not pretending to like pain. You're reframing it as fuel. That's Amor Fati on the street, not in a quote. That's how you stop being a weather vane and become the weather. Stop looking for a relationship that makes you feel like less work. Become a person who makes relationships less work. Love reality as it is. Respond with virtue as practice. Attraction will stop being a mystery and start being your byproduct. Or keep feeding your drama and call it passion. Your call. You don't rise to the level of your love stories, you fall to the level of your systems. If your systems are chaos, your love will be too. Here's the reality. You've dodged attraction is not chemistry plus luck. It's character plus logistics. You don't need another soulmate narrative. You need a blueprint you can run at 2 a.m. when you're tired and tempted to torch everything over a tone in a text. Amor Fati isn't poetry on a poster. It's a sequence you execute under pressure. Accept what is. Apply your values. Act with precision. Audit the results. Repeat. That's how you stop playing defense against your own nervous system and start playing offense for your future. Start with an identity lock. You've been shape-shifting to avoid conflict, laying low when you should stand tall, roaring when you should regulate. Enough. Choose the sentence that governs your love life for the next season. I am a steady person who treats reality as a training partner and responds with virtue. Read it daily. Tape it to your bathroom mirror. Why? Because behavior follows identity. If you still think you're the fragile one, you'll behave like the fragile one. If you decide you are the steady one, your body starts looking for behaviors that match. Identity is the thermostat. Behavior is the heat. Shocking truth, you've been worshipping feelings like they were facts. Feelings are weather. Facts are climate. Feelings pass. Facts persist. If your feelings say, they're abandoning me, check the climate calls returned, plans kept, repairs made. If the climate says safety, you're fighting ghosts. If the climate says chaos, stop debating meteorology and move to a better region. No more dissertations searching for a loophole. Reality is blunt. Be blunter. Shocking truth. Number 2. Boundaries are controlling is a story you tell to avoid the discomfort of enforcement. Boundaries are not about controlling them. They're about controlling you. Your spine is a promise to yourself, not a prison for someone else. Without it, you perform standards you'll never keep. With it, you become a person people can trust even when they don't like your answer. Shocking truth. Number 3. Your attention diet is sabotaging your attraction. You feed your brain a non-stop buffet of comparison and scandal, then wonder why your baseline is paranoia. Switch inputs, change outputs. Unfollow the accounts that monetize your panic. Fill the gap with craft, skill, and actual community. Your nervous system will stop hunting for problems to stay entertained. Boredom isn't a crisis. It's a signal to build and not burn. Let's architect the system. 5 pillars. Simple. Relentless. Pillar 1. Standards in writing. You and your partner co-author a 1-page compact. Not romantic vows. Operational vows. We update ETAs within 10 minutes. We don't weaponize silence. We sleep before ultimatums. We calendar weekly undistracted time. We keep sarcasm out of conflict. Read it monthly. Amend it when life changes. This is not control. It's clarity. Clarity is erotic because it frees the body from scanning for threat. Pillar 2. Ritualized repair. Conflict is guaranteed. Ruptures will happen. Make repair a ritual, not a roulette wheel. Every rupture triggers the same play timeout. Regulate. Acknowledge impact. Choose one changed behavior. Schedule a check-in. Keep the ritual sacred. Treat it like brushing your teeth. When repair becomes predictable, resentment can't accrue interest. Pillar 3. Proof stacking. Words are inflation. Proof is currency. Stack 2 pieces of proof daily. 1 for self-respect. 1 for relational safety. Self-respect proof is a tiny promise kept. Relational safety proof is a tiny courtesy that anticipates impact. After 30 days, you won't need pep talks. You'll have data. Data calms bodies quicker than quotes. Pillar 4. Boundaries with teeth. State them short. Enforce them clean. I don't continue with raised voices. I pause and resume later. Then do it the first time, with zero theatrics. Teeth don't mean cruelty, they mean consequence without chaos. People trust what bites clean and heals fast. You're not punishing. You're protecting the conditions where love can thrive. Pillar 5, novelty on a schedule. You say you want spark, then leave it to chance. That's amateur. Adults schedule novelty the way athletes schedule training. Once a month, a new environment, a new game, a new cuisine, a new role in bed. Not to impress. To remind your nervous systems that together means expansive, not repetitive. Expansion is attractive. Repetition without intention is rot. Now, a lens that will keep you from wasting years. Capacity versus compatibility. Capacity is a person's ability to regulate, repair, and respect agreements. Compatibility is the fit between your values, rhythms, and goals. You've been treating capacity like it's romantic destiny and compatibility like it's a cute bonus. Flip it. If capacity is low, nothing holds. If compatibility is low, everything chafes. Vet both, early, often, with behavior, not speeches. And when betrayal happens because life isn't a curated feed, here's the sober path. You don't forgive to be holy, you forgive to be free. But forgiveness is not reunion. Reunion requires 3 proofs over time: remorse that centers your pain, responsibility that names specific harms, and reparation that changes systems, not just sentiments. If any leg is missing, the stool tips. You don't sit, you leave. Amor Fati doesn't romanticize suffering, it repurposes it. If the pain can't be repurposed into a stronger system, exit with dignity and take the lesson to the next chapter. Grief will visit you, even when you do everything right. Grief isn't evidence you chose wrong. It's evidence you dared to love with edges. Let it do its job, strip you of the fantasy that certainty is a prerequisite for courage. Cry, sleep, lift, write. Don't turn grief into a brand. Let it pass through like weather, and then return to your climate steady. Values-led, relentlessly kind to your future. The most underrated lever in attraction is generosity without self-erasure. Give without scoreboard keeping, but never in a way that makes you resentful. If resentment appears, you gave beyond your boundary. Adjust forward. That's all. Don't martyr. Don't hoard. Generosity that preserves dignity multiplies desire. Generosity that buys love breeds contempt. You want one shift that detonates old patterns. Stop asking, do they like me? Start asking, do I admire how I behave around them? Likability is for strangers. Admirability is for partners. If you don't admire yourself in this dynamic, your body will eventually rebel. Integrity always collects its bill up front with discomfort or later with chaos. Pay up front. Now the no excuses week, 7 days. Non-negotiable. Day 1. Write your 1-page compact. Share it. Edit it together. Day 2. Install the 20-second listening sprint in your next tense moment. Day 3. Enforce one boundary. Once. Cleanly. Day 4. Schedule next month's novelty. Put it on the calendar. Day 5. Audit your feeds. Unfollow panic profiteers. Add 3 signal builders. Day 6. Do a debt clean-out. 1 resentment inventory. 1 request or boundary. No drama. Day 7. State your identity lock out loud to someone who knows you and will hold you to it. You'll be tempted to start next week. That temptation is your old life singing lullabies. Mute it. If your partner isn't on board, run your half anyway. Your half alone will surface truth quickly. Either the energy improves or the misalignment becomes undeniable. Both outcomes are mercy. Finally, the challenge you can't outsource: become the person whose presence is a weather system, steady pressure, clean air, clear visibility. In that climate, real love grows stubborn roots. It survives storms. It feeds on truth. It doesn't fear needs, time, or silence. It doesn't negotiate values. It doesn't chase. It chooses. Daily. Not because it's easy, because it's who you are. Here's your last slap if you won't build the systems. Don't blame love for collapsing. Love didn't fail you. Your excuses did. Love reality as it is. Respond with virtue on repeat. And watch your life rise to the level of your discipline, not your drama.